Hello, YouTube. I am Lee the Pirate Tester, and I am going to be trying out some exploratory testing on a website intentionally designed to practice testing on. So there are problems with the site, there are things we should be looking for, and it is made for playing on. So let's get started and have a look. So it was made by Mark Wintringham. He is a member of the company Ministry of Testing. He works alongside Richard Bradshaw. And this is for the Shady Meadows Bed and Breakfast. So, welcome to Shady Meadows, a delightful bed and breakfast nestled in the hills on Newington Ford, Buryshire. For those who aren't from the UK or nearby, this place, intentionally made up. It is not real. It is a silly style of British location. A place so beautiful you will never want to leave. All our rooms have beautiful beds, and we provide breakfast from the locally sourced supermarket. It is a delightful place. It does indeed seem delightful. So, first of all, let's have a look, see what we can find. So we have our rooms. We have a single room, and the description is in gibberish. It looks like some version of Lorem Ipsum, which is dummy text which was invented by printers a long time ago. It comes with a TV, Wi-Fi, and safe. I hope it comes with beds, or a single bed at least. It also appears to be wheelchair friendly, which is wonderful. And we have the option to book this room. But before we press that, let's see what else we have. So they have the name, the location, a phone number, and an email address of fake@fakeemail.com. Wonderful. And we have a way to message them. So we ask for our name, our email, phone, subject, and the message, and we can submit. And then we have a map, and then some genuine blurb about who they are, and so forth. So if I was going to explore this, what would I want to do? So ideally, I would make a charter to give me a bit of focus. But what I'm going to do instead is just see what I can find. So the first thing that leaps out to me is, what happens if I press buttons? So if I want to book this room, I don't want to message them. I just want to go straight to, yep, that room, even though I can't understand it, sounds lovely. I would like to book this room. Okay. So I have a list of dates. It is March. As I record this, it is the 15th of March. So pre-selecting today is really good. I can give my first name, my last name, my email, my phone. I can book it or I can cancel it. So if I cancel it, does it take me off this? It does. Great. That's reassuring. So how do I book a day? And it's not a case of you click and it gives you a start date. Can I go back? I can go back months. I can go forward months. If I want it to be next year, I would genuinely have to cycle all the way through. But today takes me back to today. So I can click and drag. Oh, that gives me one night at £100, which feels very expensive. There's a hotel not far from me which is £55 a night. So if I want to book that, that's how I select. And I can select the past. There doesn't seem to be a limit of how many nights. I can book the entire month and overlapping days, which is 34 nights, 31, 32, 33, 34, because I start that night, I end that night. So yeah, there's the right number of nights. But the only real way to get back to nothing is by selecting a night. So you say when you want the day to start and check out. So like a check-in and check-out thing. Okay. So it wants the first name, last name, email, phone number. So let's put moderately real things in. So I am Lee. My last name is the Pirate. I have an email address. I'm going to say I am pirate@yar.com. And my phone number is 07, which is mobile phone numbers UK, 123454321. Can I book this? Booking successful. Your booking has been confirmed for the 15th and 17th. Well, hang on a minute. I'm sure I only asked for one night, and it's saying it's booked me for two. So that's not very good. I can scroll along whilst the overlay is there, but I can't do much else until I close it. Okay. So I have a happy route, but it doesn't seem to be the best happy route. And that setting is now unavailable. But I can select it even though it's unavailable. Oh, interesting. Now, what happens if I want to leave all the values empty? Let's press book and find out. So size must be between 3 and 18. The size of what? Size must be between 3 and 20. Size of what? Last name should not be blank. As a tester, I hate the word should. Should implies something is optional. You should brush your teeth twice a day. You should eat 5 fruit and vegetables a day in the UK. It's not a must. It's not obligatory. Something else must not be empty. First name should not be blank. Something else must not be empty. And size of something must be between 11 and 21. So if I was testing this, I would immediately report back that the error handling is terrible. It doesn't tell me what they are, and they don't appear to be in order because it's mentioning last name shouldn't be blank, but that's the second field. Then much later, the first name should not be blank, and that's the first field. So can I put in one character for each? What happens? So the size of something must be between 3 and 30. Something cannot be empty. Well, nothing's empty. The size must be between 3 and 18. Size between 11 and 21. Must be a well-formed email address. So that's new. Okay. If we make all things 3 characters long, something's going to suddenly stop saying it's between 3 and something. Must not. What can't be empty? Can I pick a different day? Does that help? Nope. And if I keep pressing book, the error messages move around. Okay. Is there a maximum for these? So it's claiming something must be up to 30 characters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we shall copy that for all of them and see what happens. So it doesn't like some things being too big, and something must be a well-formed email address. Okay. What happens? So, and this is where with exploratory testing, if you don't have a chart, you can get distracted. My mind immediately goes, what happens if I don't pick a date, but I put a value, the correct combinations? No, right now, I'm exploring these text fields and email address field. Now, I have a Chrome plugin, and it is called Bug Magnet. Now, if you ever are doing testing on a web page, Bug Magnet is a fantastic plugin. It's probably available in other browsers, but Chrome is my go-to, both professionally and at home. And it has a whole host of options in it. You can check lorums, it can give you names, and then it asks you for different character sets, lengths, unusual accents. Are there other character sets? Commonly thought as of null, invalid. What happens if you say your name is null? James Bond with middle names. So, I loved this one. So it is just the assorted James Bond films up to Casino Royale when this was made. And there was someone who named their child with all the James Bond films as their middle names, which is just horrible. Um, so yeah, so we can say let's have a name. Um, let's have some character sets. Can we use Japanese? And then the rest of it is okay. Email address is test@test.com. How's that? Oh, okay. So it's suddenly gone from saying things are unsuccessful to it accepted my Japanese character first name. That was interesting. And all the errors about something must not be null, soon as I hit the minimum phone number, so the phone number was the thing that needed to be 11, was suddenly okay. Oh, I also have to keep muting myself because I've got a terrible cough. Um, Now, I will say this website intentionally refreshes the database every 10 minutes. So that is potentially why the previously booked dates was unavailable. Now, whenever there's a things with date, I love choosing the past. So let's have let's use Bug Magnet to give us an email address. Let's have a valid email address and a nice simple one. Okay. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yep, so we can book in the past. I would immediately go, hang on a minute, why can I book in the past? Can I double book someone? Let's have a valid with a dot in the address. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm just going to copy paste that because I keep using that all the time. Oh. Oh dear. It didn't like that, did it? So let's let's have to refresh it and start again. So can I duplicate this bug? Because there's nothing more terrifying than when you make a bug and you can't reproduce it and it sticks with you, even though you know it shouldn't. Yep, so if I try to book a booking that's taken, it it doesn't know what to do about it. Fantastic. So what other things would I do with this? So, for example, we've discovered that it doesn't like an email address if it's an incorrect format. With names, if we have, let's see, let's get good old simple email address. Oh no, that's in the wrong field. Let's pay attention, Lee. Oh, I can't drag things out. Interesting. And that's something that I would spot going along is, hang on a minute, can I move things out and so forth. So we'll have an email address, plain text. So this doesn't like first names and surnames, I'm guessing, because that is all we can go with this. It really doesn't like things being null because it keeps growing the list. It doesn't like names of being a minimum of 2 characters. So if you have a 2-character first name and a 2-character surname, you would not be allowed to use this site, which is not good from a diversity point of view because you can have names which are that short. A surname, a first name that could be 2 characters, for example, is Joe, J-O. And as a surname, you could have Lee, L-I. You could have, I'm hoping I pronounce it because I've never needed to, which is terrible for me, but like Ung, like NG from, I think, Korea and Asia. So there are legitimate names that could be 2 characters. So even if you say, okay, we need a minimum, well, why is the minimum 3? Okay, so if I book with what it should be treated as valid and no dates, nothing happens. Just something must not be null. But is that the must not be null from before? Let's put a date in. Yep, so it's doing that. So if we wanted to see how it handles blowing out the text, because we could put in numbers, we could put in email address, cities, postcode, names. I can't drag things out. That is really annoying. So yeah, so those are some of the things. But for example, with phone, can I put in alpha characters? So let's go to get our good email address. So I've got a phone number that is just alpha, and the phone number should be numbers, potentially with a plus if you're using like an like a country code. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's between 11 and 21. Oh, I haven't picked a duration, have I? Here we go. Okay, so it doesn't check that the phone number is a number. It only checks that the phone number is the correct length. Interesting. I mean, honestly, I'm surprised it is at least looking for a maximum, not just a minimum. But as I've said, the fact it doesn't tell you what fields are wrong and so forth is frustrating. So there's some logic in there, but not enough. So imagine if I wanted to do a similar thing here. Alright, what happens if we make this submitted empty? Ooh, so we love seeing these must not be blanks. Something must be between 20 and 2000. I'm guessing the message. Something else must be between 5 and 100. And something else must be between 11 and 21. Okay. So 2, 3, 4, 5. So does one of these disappear? Okay, so that one doesn't need to be a minimum of 5. Does the email address need to be a minimum of 5? Must be a well-formed email address, and there's still something asking for 5. The fact this shit keeps growing and growing. Phone number? No. What about the subject? Does the subject need to be at least 5? Okay, so it's the subject that needs to be 5 characters. Trial and error has got this. And this is getting stupidly long to keep scrolling back at, so I'm going to give it a refresh. So I've put 5 characters in. So, is phone number mandatory then? Because we've still got the must not be blanks in an entirely useful way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So is it a case of the name must be 20 characters at least? Bug Magnet, you had a long name in here, didn't you? Name length. That looked like a long name. Don't know how many characters it is. Long enough. $128 characters. Okay, what can't be blank? Is it email address? Or is the whole thing not working? So, let's find out. Oh, thanks for getting in touch with you about subjects, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as soon as possible. Okay. Can I contact you again? No. There's no go back. There's no way to change this. No. Oh, okay. So I would do very similar things to how I did booking the room. So I would complain about the error handling. I'd be wanting to confirm the minimum, maximum size. So I would use boundary testing. So if something allows 5 to 100, I'd be like, okay, is it 5 happy? Is 100 happy? Is 4 unhappy? Is 101 unhappy? And the same thing for each of them. With email address, it complained we weren't using someone there a well-formed email address. There's an assumption what a well-formed email address is. I think the shortest character after a dot is 2 characters, and that considers that to be well-formed. Can you have a single character before the dots? Can you have a single character after the dot? So it's not complaining. Does it just need an at? So at. So an at on its own isn't sufficient. At at a at a. That's a well-formed email address. Yeah, that no email address could ever go wrong with such a rubbish email address. Okay. So what else would I do? If this was a if I was looking for things properly, I'd be going with where do all these links go? But these point to genuine things, so I wouldn't really be wanting to play around with these, but it points to real people and their websites. Tells you about their cookies. Ooh, look at all the cookie policy. Now, as well as exploratory testing, I have done a teeny tiny amount of security testing. And one thing I remember seeing is what happens if you have /admin. Ooh. So it doesn't have a/admin. That's interesting. Rounds of report admin here. Ah, so I can have an admin after this. Can I just log in? No. Can I have A and A? Admin and password? Would you like to? No, don't save that. So I can see all the people who have booked a room. So James Dean booked into here. There's some AAs, some Gabriella Christinas, and I can delete bookings. Just gone. There's a room, accessible false. Well, the picture says no features added. The room is amazing. It is a suite. It's accessible. We like to be. It costs £1 million. It comes with everything, and this is great. Oh, I have some new bookings. Thank you, Gabriella and James Dean. I would like to book a room in your place. I did update this, didn't I? Interesting. I have a report. Oh. Branding? I can change the branding. Oh, hi there. For there, I can't even spell when I'm exploring. Let's submit it. Description could only contain basic characters and basic grammar. You can't use an exclamation mark. That's not basic enough. Ahoy there. So we've discovered this lies when it says it's accessible. So yeah, hopefully that has given you an idea of how I might even start exploring this. So I'd be challenging the name. It doesn't start with a capital, so that's poor grammar. It's not using real text, so a developer might have put some dummy text in and forgot to change it. The error handling isn't user friendly. It lets you book in the past. If you try to book when someone's already booked, we were getting just a white screen with nothing happening. What else might I do? Oh yeah, I would probably look at using DevTools as well, so I can look at what things are going on. But honestly, I don't use DevTools much with the kind of things I do, so it's not something I'm that experienced with, but would be good to learn, but I'd need to be in a circumstance where I would apply it more. But overall, I hope that gives you an insight of how I would explore this website. And thank you for watching, because I haven't shared this, so it's live, but people will come and watch it back. And if you ever watch this and get all the way to the end, thank you, Mark, for building this site. Cheers for